Hey guys, I'm back with another action figure review, and this time we're going to take a look at the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series Robin figure. And I know this is not what I said I would be reviewing next on my channel. I was supposed to be reviewing the Marvel Legends Odin Wave, but today is Wednesday, right? And this is the day that these figures came out. By these figures, I mean this Robin, the Dick Grayson Robin from the animated series. We got the Joker from the animated series, and we got Man-Bat from the animated series. So, we didn't realize these were coming out this week, but I caught it. Some of the Rogues Show guys pointed it out, and then I checked out in Mock Time, and sure enough, they had them. So Todd stopped and picked up the next 3 for his animated series collection. And of course, I wanted to review these guys right away. So I figured, hey, it's a nice little break between Marvel Legends waves. I'll do a little sort of mini wave of DC Collectibles guys, and yeah, so I'm going to do Robin, Joker, and Man-Bat, and then I'm also going to add on the Two-Face from the previous wave because I have never got a chance to review him last time. So yeah, so before we jump on in, I'll just show you the package, even though I'm sure we've seen it by now, unless you're a newcomer. So it's this typical Batman the Animated Series packaging with the logo in the back, and you've got Robin's name up the side. The back is, again, the same thing, just inverse. And it's basically, you just got sort of info on you. They never really give you a ton of info on these packages for the animated series figures. They do, however, give you the little sheet on the inside. So you got this. You got Batman the Animated Series on the left, and the New Batman Adventures on the right. And so yeah, so far we've had the New Batman Adventures Batman, the Two-Face, which like I said, I'll be reviewing shortly. I reviewed Batman already. I reviewed Mr. Freeze already. I did review Catwoman. We got already. So next up we got these 3, and I'll add on the Two-Face at the end. So then after that, I'm thinking this is going in order, so we should have Poison Ivy, Killer Croc, and Robin coming soon. I think they come out in like waves of 3, so yeah. I don't know that I've seen pictures of the Creeper, like actual production like figures from a con or something. I don't remember seeing the Creeper. I remember seeing Harley Quinn, I think, and then they've shown some others that aren't, like Nightwing's coming pretty soon, I think, but he's not on this list. So this isn't exactly the order they're coming in, I don't think, but nonetheless, handy to have. There's another sheet of paper in here that I don't remember there being last time, but it looks like it's just instructions for the stand. Just take a peek. Yeah. And you got display base instructions and accessory instructions for numerous figures that come in this wave. So it looks like Poison Ivy was supposed to come in this wave. What was that? She was next on the list, right? Yeah. Interesting. So I guess they were supposed to release 4 and then they didn't. There have been a lot of changes to the kind of release schedule of these figures because of the quality control issues that the original for 1 or 2 waves had. DC Collectibles got a lot of complaints about breakages and just the overall feeling of the joints and everything. And they actually wrote a big statement on their website. They said they were going to be delaying the next wave. They're going to reinforce the joints. They're using different types of plastics and stuff. They're no longer going to have the holes on the front of the legs, as you can see. So this wave should have come out earlier, but it's a little pushed back. So I think their whole schedule is a little different now. But so yeah, so we can see Robin is on here because he has some accessories that we will take a look at, and then you'll see the others in future reviews. So let's get on into this figure. I do usually show accessories first, but I think this time I'm just going to do a little run through of the figure first and then do the accessories since there are so many of them. So this here is little Dick Grayson. How cute is he? I just think this is so perfect. It looks so much like the show. The face is just, it just makes me want to smile. How can you not? You know, the whole look of the figure, obviously, it just, every time I review a figure from this line, I'm just like, oh my god, they did such a good job. But like, really, they're capturing the look of these animated characters so well with this series. I love it, and I'm glad that they're listening to customers and trying to better the product. So I will kind of touch on that as I go through, but yeah, let's just give you some close-ups of the figure here. So you got the Robin R and the little buckles, belts. Yeah, there's not super ton going on here. You can see the hair does get sculpted around the edges there. And this cape is the one that gets pushed like over his shoulders so that you can move his shoulders. He does have a second cape, which I'll show you in a moment, that drapes over one of his shoulders, so that you lose a little mobility in that side, but does look cool. So gloves, and then he's got his skinny cartoon legs, those tiny little feet. You know, like I've said, I'm sure in my past animated series reviews, there's not a ton of stuff to talk about as far as the way the figure like looks. There's not a ton of sculpting details because of this style, and that's fine. They do it justice. That's what's to be done, you know. But it's not gonna have like a million textures and things to really glance at and look over. But they do such a great job with what they're supposed to be doing. So let's take a look at some of these accessories now. Now he does come with a figure stand. And I have to say, he's, one of the ones with the smallest feet out of the bunch, because he's a smaller figure, and I will compare him to Batman. His feet are probably the smallest. Maybe Catwoman's are about the same or comparable. So I'm pretty surprised that he's standing very well without the stand, compared to even, like, Batman's feet are a little bigger, and he has a little bit of difficulty. I mean, you can see sometimes I have to adjust him, but for the most part, like, I'd feel pretty okay standing him there without the stand. But if you prefer to use the stand, they are pretty cool. They do have the logo of whichever show they're from. It's a turnaround from the actual art when they were designing the characters. It says Robin up there, and then it has the front, side, and back view. So this particular artwork shows the other cape that he wears. Well, not the other cape that he comes with as a figure. So we'll take a look at that. But you have the stand here. You get the clear peg, and it has a flat side that goes against the flat side, and then you get a claspy thing that you slide on. And some have sort of double claspies, and some have just the single sort of ones. So let's see how this is. Lower it a little bit. And basically, okay, that's a little too low. You want to get it right around the waist, so just adjust that as necessary, and then you just clip it around there. But I find that, kind of takes away from posing and whatnot. These figures are pretty darn articulated, so, they do that with the intention of you to pose them, I would say. So I don't prefer to use the stands. Another thing you can do also, I think this might work with him, is you can just take this off, and I think I did this with Batman originally too, and just use this because he has a cape, so it's just a little bit of stability for it to just it'll just stick in between the cape and his back, and so he'll just kind of lean on it. So if you prefer to not have this being clipped around his waist, which I think looks pretty silly, this is at least a little bit of a stability. I have to say, though, when you do it with Robin, he's a little shorter, so his feet just make the bottom of the stand here. So, that's doable, too. It's another thing to consider if you want a little more stability. So, let's take a look at this other cape. So this one, like I said, drapes over each shoulder. This one drapes over his back, I suppose I should say. This one drapes over his shoulder on the one side. Now, I'd really like to switch it over and show you, but I'm nervous about popping his head. Oh, okay, never mind. I got his head off. So this cape is totally loose. It's not pegged in or anything. You just pop it off and pop this one on. And you pop the head back on. Just be careful. He's a smaller figure. I'm sorry, I'm doing it off the camera. So just be gentle is all I have to say. But that actually was pretty painless. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to get his head off without a little bit of hot water, but that was nicely done, DC Collectibles. Thank you. So I really like this cape. It's again, like, I prefer the Batman with the cape that drapes over the shoulders, even though it restricts the articulation. In this case, you only have going over one shoulder, so you can still pose this one, for instance, if you wanted him, like, shooting a grapple gun with this arm, you could still do that, while this one's still looking cool. And I think, no, it's about the same. I was going to say, I think this is kind of a little less limiting than Batman's, but it's about the same. So this is really cool. I like this look a lot. I'm sure Todd will prefer it as well, so this is probably what he will be displayed in. Now for accessories, he... Uh-oh. Oh no. Things keep falling. Where is it? Okay, there we go. Okay. So he's got a few things for accessories here. Just scoop this out of the way. He has numerous hands, which I will show you. He has a grapple gun that's loose. Now, I'm not really quite sure of the purpose of this, to be honest, because it comes with a hand that's already holding one. Now, this to me makes more sense, because it's perfectly sculpted in there. You pop the hand in, and then boom, he's holding it. With this one, I don't think you can really put it in one of his hands, unless it's just kind of loosely, like maybe maybe you want to make him look like he just like pulled it out of his, you know, utility belt or something. I'm not quite sure. Or you use it for like a Batcave display, and just pop it on a shelf or something. That's cool. He does come with the hands, like I said, I'll get that to in a second, but he also comes with this, which, let me put it down for a sec. You can see this. It's very rubbery, but this, I believe, is called a bolo. I had to ask the rogues on this one. Rob and Jason helped me out. And Rob, of course, had every bit of info I needed. He sent me clips and everything, so thank you, Rob. You throw this, you can throw this around someone, and then it like ties them up, and that's what Robin uses for to catch someone in the episode that this is based on, which is now escaping my head. Robin's Reckoning? Was that it? Let me double check. Robin's Reckoning, yes. So that's what this particular figure is kind of based on. Each one of these animated series figures ties into a particular episode. I think for the most part, a lot of them are the like first appearance of that character in the show. Not sure if that's the case for Robin. I didn't ask Rob, sorry. But yes, so they kind of pick one, and the accessories that come in with the figure are specific to that episode. So like with Catwoman, we saw that what was it, a necklace that was in that episode. Of course, reference something you don't remember, Olivia. That's smart. I'm pretty sure it was a necklace. But yes, so now let's take a look at these hands. So like I said, he has the grapple hand. He comes with 2 fists on, and then the other options you get are a pair of sort of just like open-y hands. And the other set is this, 2 of these, which are, looks almost like a trigger finger. I guess this was the one you would use if you want him to hold the bolo. Yeah. Cool. So, I'm not going to pop those out. I'm a little, I want to be gentle. So let me touch on this. As far as the quality control is going here, off the bat, not, you know, totally playing with it a ton. I do feel like maybe it is a little bit stronger. I feel more comfortable with it. I love that there are no more leg nipples, as Sue Murray 47 would call them. The little holes where they show the joints in the legs. I love that they finally filled those in. I still, you know, worry a little bit about the little tiny wrists and the little ankles. But I think that's just, you know, going to come with the territory. I don't think there's any figure with some joints that small that you're going to feel safe, unless maybe they're made of some kind of, like, steel, you know? So, like, I feel that way about SH Figure Arts, you know? They have tiny, like my Smooth Criminal Michael Jackson, that has tiny joints. And even though that was a more expensive figure, I still worry when I'm switching things out and stuff like that. So, one thing to note is when Todd picked these up from our store, and when I picked them up from Mock Time, the guy at the counter was, you know, he's talking to him about them, and he's letting him know, you know, I guess, I don't know if he bought them himself or he heard from his customers that, you know, he knew this and this about the figure. He said, you know, about Robin, he said, the wrists are a little delicate. Like, apparently people had issues with their Catwoman figures from this series that their wrists were breaking. So he said, these are kind of like Catwoman's wrists. They're delicate. Be careful. He said, like, Man-Bat's, something about Man-Bat was also something to watch out for, and then Joker was solid. So, you know, it sounds like things are improving, but, you know, as always, there's sometimes there's just things to worry about. It's like, it's not even just the animated series. The DC Collectibles all around has had some quality control issues these days that just they have to work on. And it looks like they're taking a step in the right direction, so I do commend them for that. So on that note, we'll do articulation. So I'm really impressed with the head movement on this Robin. It like, I was like bending his head back, and then it just kept going. It kind of stops, and then you can pull it one more time, and it pops off. My bad. But it does go back quite far. It, kind of wobbles all the way around. It'll even has some jive turkey, as Anthony would say. ODC, that's me. So yeah, you can go all the way around, up and down. Very nice. So the shoulders will go up, not too far. They will go, all the way around. There is no twist at the bicep, being his cut. They could have put a cut here, but instead they just do the swivel and hinged elbow in one. He does have a twist at the glove, and then also at the wrist, and a hinge at the wrist, because and these pieces pop out, and oh, that's actually really easy. They did a good job on that too. So I said I wasn't going to do that, but there you go. I did it. And let's do the grapple gun hand, because it looks cool. So now he has his grapple gun, and this is twisting all the wrong ways. Now he has his grapple gun hand, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, so he can do some kind of cool shooting his grapple gun pose. Even though this arm is down, this arm can still go up. That's pretty darn cool. I like that. That's how I would pose it. We'll see what Todd does. He has a twist at the waist. He's got these crazy T-jointed hips that... Okay, they're not as crazy as Joker's, and you'll see what I mean. Now, here's a little issue. The way they paint the joint leaves you with this red spot here, because he has, his little, like... tunic, where the tunic kind of goes to. I kind of wonder, would it have been that bad to end it here and just kind of make this go just slightly higher? I doubt it. So I would have done that. Where my nails are covering, it's red, but it should be green. And then when you did this, it wouldn't break the red paint. Not sure why they did that. It's on the butt too. On the butt it's fine. It's okay. It's better because the red goes like all the way down here. But here you have the green creeping in on the sides, and that's like... But hey, if you're not putting your Robin in any on the splits, then you'll be fine. Or even if you put him like this, you don't really notice. So, no biggie. He will go forward pretty much all the way. I mean, he's got it to fit in that Batmobile, am I right? They will go back. He's got a single bend at the knee. No cuts. There is a boot swivel, though. And then he has his tiny little feet on a hinge. And they do have, like, the Hasbro style rocker. So he can, go out into the splits and then... Let's see what he does here. But yes, be super careful as I'm doing this. Like, be super careful because, like I said, he has these tiny ankles. They're delicate, but they are cool. So, I'm not saying just don't ever use them. You can get him into a really wide stance with his feet still flat. I'm having a little trouble on the spot here, but you know what I'm getting at. His feet are almost entirely flat, and look how spread his legs are. So, Hasbro style rockers, man, so cool. Now, can we have them on the other figures that don't have tiny feet, Hasbro? Thanks. Okay, so yes, Dick Grayson, Robin, Batman, the animated series. This has been a long review. I love these animated figures. I'm sorry I talk so much about them. They have a lot of accessories. They have a lot of things to say. I did a lot of talking about QC and stuff that I won't do in every single review from here on out. So that's that. But yeah, I love this guy. I love this series. I can't say it enough. Oh, I didn't compare him to Batman. So I'll pop him in while I'm talking, doing my little wrap up. I mean, how cool is this? See, look at the leg nipples. Bye-bye, leg nipples. He's dusty. He's been waiting for this. See, I actually, right off the bat, I can feel Batman's ankles are not nearly as strong as Robin's are. And Robin's feet are tiny. So, good on DC Collectibles for you know, working on this and trying to better their product. Because we do spend our hard-earned money on this, and I can see that they care. They're respecting that. So, yeah, Batman wants to fall over and, like, attack Robin right now. Because he's got the loose ankles going on. But there we go. I'll keep them like that. So yeah, they look awesome together. I love it. Of course, this guy will eventually go with the animated series version of Batman. And this Batman will go with the Tim Drake Robin that we will be getting soon. So not quite this pairing, but you can get the gist of it. Looks really cool. And yeah, I'm psyched to get both of those two. Well, I'm psyched for Todd to get those two figures in the future and for me to review them. Because I have a blast reviewing these. And yeah, so I think that's about it, guys. So, absolutely great figure and totally recommend it. If you're apprehensive about QC issues, just keep your fingers crossed because they're doing a good job, and I'm sure your figure will be better off than it was, you know, a few months back. The figures they released then. So, this has been my review of the Batman the Animated Series Robin figure from DC Collectibles. So stay tuned for my Joker and Man-Bat reviews and Two-Face that's tacked on at the end there, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.